If you're an independent shop owner, you know this feeling deep in your bones, right? An empty bay, a mountain of work piling up, and just not enough skilled hands to turn the wrenches. Yeah, the technician shortage has been the talk of our industry for years, but what if I told you the tide might finally be starting to turn? To figure out where we're headed, we've got to answer one really big question first.
So let's just rip the Band-Aid off and ask it right out of the gate. Is it over? Have we finally solved the auto tech shortage? Well, the answer, it might just surprise you. Because, believe it or not, there's actually some good news. The TechForce Foundation found that the total transportation tech workforce, it grew by 2.8% last year. And get this, that growth actually beat the entire U.S. labor force. So yeah, for the first time in what feels like forever, we're seeing a positive number. But, and you knew there was a but coming, it's a really big but. Let's not start celebrating just yet.
That little flicker of growth is encouraging, for sure, but it's kind of like a single candle in a very, very dark room. So let's hit pause on the optimism for a second and get a serious reality check on the massive gap we still have to fill.
1 million. Just let that number sink in for a second. That's how many new technicians our industry needs over just the next 5 years. And that's not for some crazy expansion, that's just to meet the demand we have right now and to replace the wave of retiring baby boomers. And think about the churn we're dealing with. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says we have about 70,000 job openings for auto techs every single year. Most of those aren't even new positions. They're just replacements. We literally have to sprint flat out just to stay in the exact same place.
Now, for you, the shop owner, this isn't some abstract industry problem. No, this is money. This is revenue walking right out your door. Studies show that a single unfilled technician bay can cost a shop more than $60,000 in lost revenue per month. That's a massive direct hit to your bottom line.
And look, it's great that we're seeing more people graduating from post-secondary programs. That number's been up for 2 years straight. But just look at the chart. We've got over 37,000 graduates and a demand for nearly 90,000 new techs every year. The math just doesn't work. We are still massively underwater. So, how in the world did we get here? You know, to fix a problem, you have to really understand it first. You got to diagnose it properly. So let's break down the key ingredients that created this perfect storm in our industry. It really is a perfect storm of factors. You can see the biggest piece of the pie here is the huge wave of retirements from an aging workforce. But we're also fighting a serious perception problem. We've got fierce competition from other trades and just a straight-up decline in new folks entering the field.
Let's talk about that retirement wave. People have started calling it the silver tsunami, and for good reason. Some estimates show that almost 1 out of every 10 of our experienced technicians is hanging up their tools for good every single year. That's a massive annual brain drain of talent and experience that is just incredibly difficult to replace.
And for decades, we've been battling this outdated myth, this perception that being a tech is a low-paying, dead-end, grease monkey job. It's steered an entire generation away from the trades. But the reality? Today's technicians are high-tech problem solvers. An experienced master tech can easily pull in a 6-figure salary. We just haven't been loud enough about telling that story. Okay, enough about the problem. Let's shift gears. Let's talk about the solution. Because here's the thing. You, the independent shop owner, you are not powerless in this situation. It's time to stop waiting for qualified techs to magically walk in the door and start growing your own. Let's open up the apprenticeship playbook. So what even is an apprenticeship, really? It's a simple idea, but it's so powerful. It's an earn-while-you-learn model. So instead of a kid taking on a mountain of debt at a trade school, an apprentice gets paid from day one. They train on the job with a mentor, and they get technical instruction at the same time. It's a job and an education all rolled into one. And this is a true win-win. It's a simple formula. 1, you recruit new talent, maybe someone right out of high school who's got a great attitude. 2, you pair them with one of your seasoned mentors. 3, you combine that real-world experience with some formal instruction. And 4, in a couple of years, you have a loyal, skilled technician who knows your shop, your culture inside and out. You've built your own solution. This quote from TechForce CEO Jennifer Maher, man, it is so crucial. The kids who love taking things apart and figuring them out, they aren't just looking at cars anymore. They could go into diesel or HVAC or even go work on giant wind turbines. Every other skilled trade is fighting for that same person. If we don't invest in training our own, other industries are going to gladly scoop up all that talent.
Apprenticeships are a huge piece of this puzzle, but it's really about a bigger shift in mindset. If we want to win this war for talent, we need a modern approach to engaging the next generation of technicians.
You know, the folks over at Jess Recruiting, who are real experts in developing this workforce, they absolutely nail it. They stress that mentorship is everything. It's about so much more than just teaching skills. It's about creating a supportive place where all that priceless knowledge from your veteran techs actually gets passed down. That's how you build a culture of excellence. That's how you keep the people you hire.
So, what does this playbook look like day to day? Well, it starts with building real relationships with your local high schools. Offer internships. Give kids a real taste of the work. Modernize your shop. Let's be real. Nobody wants to work with ancient tools in a dark, dirty garage anymore. And of course, you got to offer competitive pay and build a culture where people feel respected and part of a team.
Now, this one is huge, absolutely crucial. Don't let your new hire get stuck doing oil changes for 2 years with no end in sight. Gen Z, they want to see a path forward. They need to know how they can level up, what skills they need to learn next, and what that timeline looks like. If you can show them the ladder, they'll be excited to start climbing it.
All right, let's bring this all home. The shortage is a massive challenge, no doubt about it. But the path forward, it's actually pretty clear. It's all about being proactive, about taking control of your shop's future instead of just reacting to problems.
Let me put it this way. As a shop owner, you're constantly telling your customers to invest in preventative maintenance to avoid a catastrophic failure down the road, right? Well, this is the exact same thing. Investing your time and your resources into training new talent is preventative maintenance for your business. It prevents the future where you have no one left to fill your bays.
Ultimately, this all boils down to one big idea. It's not just about hiring. You have to take a holistic approach. It's about sparking that initial interest, training them the right way, and creating a workplace where they actually want to stay and build a long-term career. You have to look at the entire life cycle of an employee, from day 1 to year 20.
That next great master tech, the one who's going to help your shop thrive for years and years to come, they're out there right now. Maybe they're a senior in a high school auto class, or maybe they're your current lube tech who's just waiting for a chance to shine. So the only question left is this: are you building the kind of shop where they want to build their career? The future of your business really depends on it.